Hi, I've been working on a command line tool in Rust called lilufo for working with UFO source files and offloading a lot of stuff you would do in a font editor so it can be better automated from the command line. So I want to show a little bit about how that works and why I'm doing it that way. So let's get started. So the basics are it's just a Rust command line program. You can run it with little UFO. And you've got some basic things you can do with kerning. So the thing I was working on today was adding all the things you can do with like adding kerning groups, changing kerning, that kind of thing. And I think people that work in glyphs, a lot of times, like you would do that completely in glyphs. But with little UFO, you can do all your kerning just from the terminal and with an image. As you can see on the left here, I have an image created with DrawBot that I can just recompile, and then I can just work with that image and do all the kerning in the terminal. So for an example, you can run this command. You give it the U flag for a UFO and then the show kerning flag. And it shows you the kerning that you currently have in your UFO source file. And you can see at the top of this that A and T currently has 0 kerning. And as you can see over on the left, there is a big gap between the A and the T. And you can also see that it has the at by it, meaning it's a kerning group. So you can do little UFO show kerning groups. And that will show you all your kerning groups. And so these lines that you enter with all these flags in the command line can get a little long. So what I do is, for each font that I'm working on, I'll create a build kerning and a build kerning groups bash file. And this has a lot of advantages. I'll just enter this bash file real quick. And so one of the advantages is that you can do all your text editing in NeoVim or Vim or whatever text editor you want, which for someone that uses a lot of text editors, that's a lot faster than entering everything in the GUI in glyphs. And this is something I've thought a lot about, and this is very core to like my whole design philosophy with font editing tools, is that there's a lot of productivity gains and automation that you can get from working with like text files and working with Vim and being able to, you can work with cursor and LLM tools like that this way a lot easier. You can copy these bash scripts back and forth to different fonts. You can do like find and replace. There's all kinds of stuff you can do. So you can kind of see here, this is the basic script. So it's little UFO. It gives the link. You just say add kerning pair, first, second, and a value. And then we have our image that's created with DrawBot over here. So we can just change this to be like -128. And so we write that, and then we can go over here and we can do build kerning. And you can see successfully added kerning pair A to T -128. And then we can do build wallpaper. And I'll do this with font C eventually, so it's a little faster. And you can do a kind of thing where it like automatically looks for changes and does it automatically. But as you can see, we've done 128 unit kerning, and this image on the side looks a lot better. So I don't have any font editor open. This is just a wallpaper and 4 terminals. And I could kern an entire font this way. And then what you can do is you can have this build kerning script that basically runs all your kerning. So I could copy and modify it to other fonts. There's like just so much stuff you can do here. So, for example, I could just select all this, yank it, just start duplicating these and just add a ton of rules. And then I can have a font with no kerning at all. And I can just drop this script into the font repo and run it and modify it, ideally using something like Cursor, like using LLMs to automate this. And also, let's see. I'm going to undo those. We also have the build kerning groups. So you can see here we're actually like setting different kerning groups, and this can be a big long file as well. Yeah, so that, and then so this is what I'm using right now is a Rust command line tool that I made with Cursor. So here's all the code. This is open source on GitHub, and yeah, that's the basics of it. And I'm gonna do more videos explaining how different parts of this work. So thank you.